Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Cupid Parasite. Just starting off with our cock-a-doodle-doo chapter. Oh, we got boned so hard last night, didn't we? Her, not us, but them. You know what happened anyway. Groaning as we wake up in the aftermath. Oh, we're still at night. I heard the sound of a message notification pinging and opened my eyes. Gil, left you? I look at the clock, still half asleep, and see that it was 2 a.m. Who could it be at this hour? I reach for my phone to check and notice Gil sleeping soundly next to me. Okay, he's still there. I was like, did Gil leave? Snore. I'm not snoring, but snore. I noticed that Gil was completely nude. In the next moment, I realized that I'm also just as nude as he is. After what just happened, this is not the time to be embarrassed. That's right. After we did that, Gil and I... Remembering our intimate time together made me blush from ear to ear. It was amazing. At first, I was so anxious, but gradually things got hot and heavy. Gradually? They kind of escalated quickly, but I'm not complaining. It felt blissfully overwhelming to me. Knowing that we loved each other so much made it feel like an indulgence. Plus, Gil took me so often and held me close. What? What? The wording! Phrasing! Took me so often. How many times did you mean to infer that? Okay. You're embarrassing me, game. He continued to tell me how deep his love for me was. I'm not even going to say what just went through my brain. I only shifted free from his grasp a bit ago. I pressed my heated cheeks to my hands and buried my face in the pillow. I felt something cold touch my forehead. It was my Cupid's arrow. Huh. It's off? I don't remember turning it into a bow and arrow, yet somehow it's off my neck. Before now, I'd never been able to remove my Cupid's arrow from around my neck, but it's on the bed for some unknown reason. Huh? Why? Okay. It happened with Shelby. It disappeared, right? When we found our true love. But okay, I didn't know what that noise was. Sorry, I heard something outside. But we also kind of didn't bang Shelby till closer to the end of his route. I don't think we were. And I don't think it disappeared until we were No, I guess it was, but that was more toward the end of his route. So I was thinking of that, yeah, was more at the end of his route, then it kind of just disappeared. And so yeah, is it interesting. It's gonna disappear sooner. It's never been removed before. Suddenly I feel worried that something bad was about to happen. No longer a goddess. Could it be because Gil and I slept together? Is my Cupid's arrow going to be okay? I take the removed Cupid's arrow and clutch it, feeling dumbfounded. I then heard another message notification. I look around the darkness of my room and see the bright screen of a phone. I realize it was Gil's. Gil must not put it on Do Not Disturb at night. If he keeps getting messages, Gil might wake up. I know I shouldn't mess with his phone, but I did think it. However, when I got close, I saw something that made me go pale. On the lock screen, there was a message. What? The truth behind Cupid Corporation, President Snail's backroom deals. So it really, when that guy was like, so what do you know about Cupid Corp? I was like, is that supposed to be Mars? That's when I really did wonder, is it Mars? He's trying to get info? We're gonna freaking throw down Cupid Corp? Walt as Gil? Because they brought it up in the common route with, Owen and Mars and, whatever. So if nothing happened in Gil's route, you'd be like, what the fuck happens with that? And he is trying to fuck up Cupid Corp because we work there and then it would fuck us up, right? But I just feel like maybe they could have done that differently. We're going to overthrow Cupid Corp and make them look bad because we're in Shelby's route, and maybe in Gil's route, him doing something else to us specifically, because going after Shelby just because it just doesn't make much sense. In Gil's route, especially because now all of a sudden you're toward the end and all of a sudden it's must overthrow Cupid Corp. Wait, what? Where'd that come from? I know you're trying to tie it back to the common route, but it's a sloppy ass bow. You were drunk when you did that one. Like, I don't know, you know? What is this? I know I shouldn't, but I couldn't help but unlock Gil's phone. Well, that's what he gets for not putting a fucking password on it or fingerprint lock. I was shocked beyond words. Top bridal advisor Spacey Mirror is a scam artist was written there as well. What is this? Why is my name here? That's obvious. So I do think the dude working there is Mars. Or Mars brainwashed him, just like he did Owen. You know what I mean? My shaking fingers opened the message. Within it was an unbelievable article. There's baseless rumors about Cupid Corporation and countless insults directed at the president and me. My mind whited out. What have I done to warrant such hate? Why would Gil receive a message about this article? If he wrote it. Oh! No forgiveness, Gil! I shakily swiped the screen and saw a message from the sender. Gil, finish the article. Please confirm. The article was excellent and well written. I'll eagerly be waiting for more. I dropped Gil's smartphone at my sudden realization. All the dots connected and lead me to a terrifying conclusion. Spacey Mirror is a scam artist. And the person who sent the messages asked Gil to confirm the article and give the go-ahead. And the article was excellent. And that means that the one who wrote the article was... Was it Gil? Wow. Like, I can understand you writing something about Cupid Core and, like, sure, writing about... Like, okay, whatevs. But throwing me in there? Like, any other character kind of doing that and then this happening would be like, well, I didn't really, it was with money and like, but Gil is the one who's basically been in love with you for 6 fucking years, and then he's gonna write that. The fact that he even wrote it at all? What, were they bribing you? Were they, like, threatening to murder me if you didn't write the article? Because that's the only reason I could see you doing this. There is, like, no... I highly doubt whatever excuse you're gonna give me should make her forgive you. Because, like, no. Like, let's say it was Alan doing it, right? You'd be like, well, because in the beginning he's flirting with you, blah, blah, blah. He's not in love with you. And then maybe he does kind of have feelings. And then he writes this article because he's like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. I just, she's just someone I know. And then he's like, yeah. And then I realized I had feelings for you and I kind of regretted it, but it was too late to take it back. Kind of can understand that. Still douchey and you still suck. But, but there's almost like, how are you going to explain that when you're like, I've always been in love with you, so you decided to slam me in a magazine for your own... Yeah, wow. Of all people who should have my back and should never have even been tempted at all, no matter what was at stake, Gil, I'm just saying, like, there has to be some serious blackmail. They have to have your whole family tied up hostage in a cage somewhere, threatening to drown them for this to even, you know what I mean? I get the other guy working there probably is mind controlled by Mars just the way Owen was, to kind of suss out some shit from Gil. But Gil writing it on his own, and then you have the audacity to fuck me? And girl, you're going to need to stab him right through the heart with your Cupid's arrow. And then piece the fuck back out, and no one will ever find you, and it'll just be like, dead man found. Arrow through the heart. Cupid was pissed. It's just gonna be tabloids for years, and that's all he deserves right now. Oh shit. I don't know, Gil. You had me up to this point, and I was like, no, you know what he's been... Oh! Woo! You just turned a corner! I already had trust issues with your type of character, and now you've just... We'll see how it goes, but right now I'm like, Girl, I'm sitting in a shady back corner like, there is nothing you're going to do that's not going to make me want to stab you. No, I don't think so. I mean, they might redeem him, don't get me wrong, but like, it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot for you to make me forgive you and not be like, fucking fuck this shit. Like, I don't know. Unless he didn't write the article. I'm like, But right now, it's not looking good for you, Gil. It's not looking good. That can't be true. There has to be a mistake. After all, Gil is the lovelorn Parasite, and I trusted him. Yeah. Say, Have you seen the president recently? I mean, writing shit about Shelby is rude, but like, whatevs. You know? We can be mad at you, but you can kind of understand that, but us? Whew, that's a line. The president? Well, no, I haven't. He's been so busy recently, I haven't seen him around the office. How come? If you haven't, that's fine, but sorry, can I ask you another question? Did you notice anything strange happening after Parasite House aired? It felt like a cold, fierce hand was gripping my heart. No, I don't want to doubt Gil, yet all of the evidence points to him. It can't be, because if it's true, then that means you trusted him enough to sleep with him and love him, and look what he did. Bastard! Shelby didn't do that to us. Just saying. Sorry, it wasn't anything major. And now let's go get dinner. Where do you want to go? Gil was lying to my face back then. Gil changed the subject rather quickly after asking about the president. We should go run back to Shelby. Then, it must be... The shock sends me flying from my bed. I have to remain calm, but I can't calm down right now. Gil's lying next to me. He just said he loved me. There's no way I can calm down. I mean, this is like the worst. This is literally the worst. You're like in that, this is like that moment where you're like, not just like the after sex moment, but just in that moment when you're in love with somebody and you're like, everything feels good and wonderful and wow, I'm so happy. And then all of a sudden then you're like, what do you mean you have a wife and kids in another town? Or like, you find out they're cheating and like all that happy bubble just crumbles and explodes and you're like, what? And like reality bitch slaps you in the face and you're like, this has to be a dream. This can't be happening. Like, we've all had something like that happen. You know what I mean? You're like, best day ever. Everything is awesome. And then like, you know, your dog gets run over by a truck or something. You know, it's just something that just completely comes out of nowhere and just like, it's literally life flying down with a big fist right to your face. Bam! Right when you're your happiest. And it's like, ha, fuck you. You have an instance in your head. You're like, I remember the exact moment that happened to me. One of. Like, we've all felt this moment. You're like, oh, that game, I don't like it. And you know the writers are like, I know exactly what this feels like. And I'm writing this in there because everyone else knows what this feels like. Maybe not, I just slept with the man of my dream. I finally admitted I love him. And then he wrote a horrible article about me. No, sure. But like that glorious moment where everything seems to be wonderful and you're just basking in that happiness, just happy. You're so happy and you just feel so good and positive and just, and it's just that moment of where you're completely naive to the fact that, you know, because you just don't see life coming at you with that fist. You should see it, but they're coming from behind and then you hear your name and you turn around and then there's a fist in your face because life is like, fuck you, don't get to be happy. Because life's a fucking douche hole. Life's a fucking bitch. So, you know, we've all been here, sort of. Oh, I hate it. I don't like you, game. Stop making me relive things. Oh, damn it. Anyway, I take my clothes and my Cupid's bow and left the room. I already know where to go. I can't stay here. I can't calm myself down enough. Good girl, run. With nowhere in my home to go, I went, alone, to Lost York Park. I sat on the bench to try and cool my head. I need to reorganize my thoughts. That earlier message. I take deep, steady breaths in a desperate attempt to calm myself. But it's a fruitless endeavor. This all happened just as I learned about Gil's true feelings for me. Yeah, but like then he wrote that article, so like, can you trust his feelings? I mean, you should be able to, because he's been in love with you for 6 years, but like, the fuck is the deal? Even if Gil didn't write the article, I would still feel just as aggravated about this. What did they mean by calling me a scam artist? From what I briefly saw, it mentioned my time with the Parasite 5. Despite Parasite House being a hit, there are people who think it was all fake. It didn't help when they left Cupid Core. On top of that, they're saying I was dating all of them, that I was deceiving the other members and creating a personal harem. That sounds like a dream. Like, I can't believe the audacity. As if an Otome game would actually give me a true harem ending. No, can't have those. boys can get their harem of big titty anime girls, but like, we can't have our harem of beautiful anime boys, can we? No. I can't even be gay in games if I wanted to be. I can't play Persona 5 and date Yusuke. Everybody wants to date Yusuke, but I can't do it because stupid Western assholes. Well, I don't like the fact that you could be gay, even though I don't have to be gay, but just the options there and it pisses me off. Well, you know what? Go fuck yourselves. Some of us just want to see Joker and Yusuke happy together, okay? Jesus. But that's seriously it. It's because men. Ugh. How many times do you see when a freaking Otome game comes out and you see, well, I'm not into this type of game. You could always make more games for me. This game doesn't appeal to me. Oh, boo fucking who? One Otome game, 30 games with big titty anime girls that you can freaking fuck. But we get one for every 30 you get. You know what? Shut your fucking face. This game's making me very angry today. I need a drink, damn it. But seriously, you know, I can't have my harem. So you know what? I'm just offended that they were saying that I was deceiving people and creating a personal harem when the game isn't even going to give me a harem ending. At least give me a harem ending and make it true. All I'm saying, Jesus. Just offended. How dare they? Can't have a harem even though I want one. But I do want one. My honest intention was to help matchmake other people. So why would people say those things about me? Why would Gil? On top of that, Gil could have written that, according to the message. What should I do? Is there anyone I can talk to about this? The ones who I usually go to when I have trouble are Gil and Claris. But Claris is out tonight, and I can't talk about Gil to... Well, Gil? Chee! I felt Chi rubbing himself against the back of my head. Seems that he followed me all the way to the park. Chi can't talk, so I hug him and try my best to get my emotions under control. Somebody walks by and they just see a girl hugging an imaginary ball because nobody can see Chi and holding a bow and arrow. I need that, CG. This is one of those scenes, like, okay, now this has become a thing in my brain. This is one of those scenes that you need after, where somebody just walks by and is like, and they see her sobbing, and we're gonna say something, and then they just see she's hugging nothing and, like, petting nothing with a bow and arrow in the crook of her arm. I understand. And they're like, okay. And they just keep going. You need that anime scene at the end of the game. Like, there's just certain scenes that you're like, I need to know, like, the whole, like... the dudes that kidnapped us in Shelby's route and the elevator ride down. How did that go? And the door opened and somebody was going to get on and they're like, oh, wait. Like, how did that you know what I mean? These are scenes that need to exist as, like, outtakes at the end. But I want you to animate them. Full voice act. I need it all. Because I need to see what this is. Like, I need to see them. They're just hilarious. Is this the kind of work Gil wanted to do? Did he join Outroad so he could publish this kind of stuff? Yeah, this trashy tabloid stuff. Being alone is making me think horrible thoughts. But what if Gil was only being kind to me for the sake of that article? Gee! Chi is fidgeting around. I might have hugged him a bit too tight. I loosen my grip but refuse to let go of him. I look down as I hold his warm, fluffy body. Calm down, Spacey. Someone like Gil would never do that to you. Are you sure? Because I don't trust him right now. A rooster? I literally just heard, "Arr!" And I'm like, the fuck? I mean, this is cock-a-doodle-doo. I couldn't help but yell as my train of thought was suddenly interrupted. I look up, blink, and I'm still confused because right in front of me, late at night, is a rooster. Wait, I've seen this happen before. Back in Celestia. I think back to when I was being scolded by Dad. I remember a rooster sleeping behind him. So that rooster is one of Dad's divine beasts. Maybe he knows where I am. You're not wearing your Cupid's bow anymore. Excuse me, but are you one of Dad's divine beasts? I cautiously asked the rooster and he nods. Then he opened his mouth. So this is Mars's rooster, but I feel like it shouldn't have a, like... Cupid, I was looking for you! He can talk? I thought he would make some sort of chicken noise, kind of like how Chi makes animalistic calls. I was super shocked. The rooster flapped his wings while approaching me. Celestia's in shambles because someone named Cupid has gone missing. Come back immediately. Just figuring Mars's rooster having a voice like that, just like, wait, what? That seems so wrong. I love it. Celestia's in shambles? But I was about to say that I needed to go home, but I cut myself off. The man who may have written that article is sleeping in my room right now. I felt tears welling up in my eyes. I bit my lip to try and suppress the urge to cry. I refuse to shed tears right now. You must return immediately! There's big trouble! Alright, I understand. I think that's full of shit, though. I don't want to go back to my place anyway. Plus, if there's trouble in Celestia, I must go. It's my duty. After all, I am a god. If I want to return to the human realm, I can just ask Auntie for her help. I steel myself to return and follow the rooster to travel back to Celestia. I think this is bullshit, but it's been 6 years since I last went home. I thought cock-a-doodle-doo was because it was going to be the morning after, but it's because there literally is a rooster. Oh, it's already morning. I paused my smartphone alarm while only half awake. Then I get out of bed and realize I was in her room. That's right. Yesterday we found out that our feelings for one another were mutual and quickly got together and consummated things. The phrasing on that's so creepy. I felt so happy yet so embarrassed all at once. I ran out of the room to go embrace her. Like the romancy music. The 1940s romance music in the background. But she was nowhere to be found. Where is she? You're also running around, flapping in the breeze here, and Claris is going to be like, Gil, cover it up! She's not in the bathroom, the restroom, Claris's room, or even the kitchen. Could you imagine busting into Claris's room, she's dead asleep, and she wakes up, and your dingleberry's just in her fucking face? She's like, Gil, excuse me? I even check under the bed just in case. Everywhere I look, she's not there. Even her shoes are gone, too. That must mean she left and went outside. Is this her way of telling me that I was bad in bed? Oh, God, Gil. I pick up my phone to check my messages and see if she sent me anything. Maybe she's just tired of me and left. It's so funny because... Whoops. Whoop, no, I hit the wrong button. Like, oh, this Gil awkward. Oh, God, I don't know. And then last night, I'm in love with you, Gil. I'm gonna show you the world. And he was just so, like, suave and just... And you were like, where did this come from? And now he's back to being awkward, anxious, and just neurotic. Where did the calm, cool, collected, take charge Gil go when you were about to shove me down and have your way with me? And now you're like, oh my God, she left me! I mean, true, I did, but there's no messages from her. Instead, there's one from a colleague at Outroad. Hey, don't leave me on red. Did you see the article? Left on red? I look back at the message history. There was an unbelievable article link there. It's full of slander towards her. So the rumors were true. A Cupid Core competitor is on a smear campaign. Oh, we should have thought of that. I'm sorry, Gil. All right, that's a legit. Because that's exactly what happened, So he sent the article. This article is excellent. Like, whatever. But that's just the wording that he used. But that would make sense if they're like, oh my God, did you hear that I hear that this other competitor is trying to smear them. Look at this article I found that they did that. And then, like, she thinks that he's, like, sending it back like he read the draft. It's because of his wording. It absolutely, I mean, the game did it on purpose to make you like, oh, how dare you? Okay, I'm sorry, Gil. I didn't have faith in you. I didn't at all. And I should have. But, like, look, I have trust issues, and your character type gives me trust issues and anger issues, and I did not give you the benefit of the doubt. I was not like, wait, but Gil is not this character that pisses me off that I hate with a passion. Gil is different, so, like, we shouldn't, if it were any other character, I'm like, no, it's a reason to hate you, but, like, I should have, Didn't I say? I'm like, they're gonna do something, and I'm like, there is almost nothing you can say that'll make me forgive you. There's probably gonna be something. They're gonna give me something. And they did. Yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong. It's okay. Look. I can't help it. My preconceived notions about Gil's character trope just get in the way of me appreciating Gil for himself. But then he always pulls through, and it's like, see, this is why, Gil, I should appreciate you for who you are. It's hard for me, okay? I admit my shortcomings. Anyway. When my colleague asked me about Cupid Core, he mentioned that there was a plan behind the scenes to ruin them. We were talking about how to put an end to this and eventually found the article's writer. We arranged a bribe to get them to stop. After all, she works at Cupid Core. I didn't want to see her get hurt. And this message was read before I saw it. That means... The only thing I can think is that while I was asleep, she saw this article and read it. So not good. Yeah, because it came with no context. I felt all the blood drain from my face. The way my Kirk colleague phrased things sounded like I wrote the article. It absolutely did. What the heck am I supposed to do with this? I need to fix things now, but I need to respond to this. I was on cloud 9 yesterday, but now I feel like everything is falling apart as I'm typing a message to her. Huh? I heard the sound of a message notification pinging by the pillow. Her smartphone is here, not with her. And then how do I get in touch with her? Snap out of it, Gil. And now's not the time to get distracted. She must have felt hurt from this. I have to go find her. I hope you put on clothes first, though. I quickly yanked on my clothes and ran outside. I have to find where my true love is, and soon. Yeah, we're back in Celestia. We don't have her phone. It wouldn't work in Celestia, I assume. Oh! Come what may! Upon my return to Celestia, I was tasked with cutting ties as my first job. Then those who are not tied by fate have a relationship. Tragedy and strife often ensues. When those who are not tied by fate, sorry. Even I, the god of war, will have trouble simply stopping fights between humans. Thus it is necessary to cut all needless bonds. That's why you, Cupid, must cut all ties between troublesome lovers using the leaden arrow. Thank goodness, they just needed arrows in order to cut ties. My Cupid's arrows had 2 types of arrows. The golden arrow makes people fall in love, and the leaden arrow cuts ties. I was secretly relieved that using the leaden arrows was all I'd need to do. The reason being that I had left my golden arrow back home. Before tonight, it would always be around my neck no matter what. Maybe it's because Gil and I did the no pants dance, but now the golden arrow no longer returns to me. The no pants dance! You did not just call it the... Oh, God. If Dad found out about all of this, he'd be beyond furious. So I kept quiet and put my hand over my chest and nodded. I mean, there is at some point where every father or mother knows that their child is having sex. But I feel like this is also awkward, where you're like, let's not have this conversation. I understand, Dad. He looked obviously relieved. I think he must have expected me to rebel against his orders. Well, I see. Then I'm counting on you to do your duty, Cupid. Dad quickly walked away. It seemed his attitude had changed since my departure from Celestia. It's very clear that he doesn't want me to pull a stunt like that again. Dad said that tragedy and strife often ensue when unfated people are in a relationship. If that's the case, then perhaps Gil and I weren't fated to be together. Gil and I just happened to live together. He happened to like caring for others. I happened to not have any common sense. Our love started by a mistake. That's why it failed. It was a bunch of coincidences. Oh, that's not true. Of course, it was doomed to fail. Look, you know what? You and I were on the same page, but now I understand I was wrong. You'll realize you were wrong too. It's fine. We were wrong. It's okay to be wrong as long as you admit that you were wrong. I ignored the pain in my heart and aimed my leaden arrow with the intent to cut ties. Then I peered into the spring of love. Within this spring, I can see the human realm. Steadily, I go through Lord Jupiter and the DC's list, wondering what sort of ties I had to sever. Freeloaders, domestic abusers, adulterers, stalkers, and cheaters. I have to step in. It's my duty to sever these bonds as Cupid. Thanks, Cupid, for severing my bond with the lying, cheating sack of shit. Please appreciate that one. Anyway, humans really love to go dumpster diving when it comes to relationships, don't we just? Also, when we're playing Otome games, sometimes dumpster diving is fun. Not in real life, but in Otome games, this game is kind of a dumpster dive. It's like a recycling bin. Okay. It's not quite the trash fire that some love interest. Yang, looking at you. Always, you're the number one dumpster fire that I can think of in my mind. But I feel everybody in this is a little bit of like, it's like the recycling bin. It's like, it's not quite the dumpster, but it's not like nice, shiny love interest. It's like there's some dented cans and shit going on in here and some broken glass. Like, just watch it. You're gonna get cut. Like, I love our boys, but they're slight trash. All I'm saying. Like, this is just, come on. This is like dumpster diving the game. Like, I love it though. They're all good underneath. They're just kind of like trash on the outside. It's like trash to treasure. You know what I mean? Like, this busted up glass. We can make some pretty like stained glass where you just glue pieces together and like, look, it's now a pretty art piece we can hang on our window and it looks pretty when the sun comes in. But before that, they just shards of glass. They trash. So, In the end, they truly do need to rely on the gods. Those couples are the kind that stay together even if a human advised against it. All of you separate. Only properly fated couples get to stay together. I don't even care about Gil anymore. We sound convincing. If Gil was the author of that article, then I'm just another victim of a bad relationship. The more I think about our relationship, the more my heart hurts. I can't even tell fact from fiction anymore. Instead of thinking about Gil, I take my anger out on humanity by aiming more leaden arrows through the spring. Upon being struck by my arrow, ill-matched couples decide to break up, returning peace to their lives. It felt refreshing, fulfilling my duties as Cupid for the first time in a while. Now use your golden arrow! I don't have that. You're trying to tell me that that's not Peter. I'm just saying. Also, I mean, I think she is your spy. Or you, Archie. I don't know. But you got the golden eyes. Just saying. There's no way that this is not Peter. And the voice acting would probably... Unless he did a different voice. But, like, you're not convincing me because they don't show you in the beginning credits. And they don't... They might at the end credits. So that might be spoilery. We don't watch them because they usually have, like, songs. But anyway. You can't convince me that you're not Peter. That's why you're the secret love interest. It's gonna be amazing. Until we get to the end and that's not the case, and then I'm gonna cry. Because, like, I'm just so intent on being right on this. But also, like, Anyway. I don't know the voice. Well, I don't think the Peter voice... It's like, Peter is, like, really cool, whatever, but... So I don't really have a voice for Jupiter, but we'll just, I guess, normal, so... And the leaden arrow. Is Cupid's power returning? What could this mean? I have to get to the bottom of this. Interesting. Where are you? Spacey, where did you go? I've been searching for her for days now. I finished proofreading my writing, which left me with extra time. I ended up requesting time off to search for her. And she was nowhere to be found. I covered 1st to 4th Ave. I went to Cupid Core. I even went to the theater we used to work at. Still no sight of her. It's like she was spirited away from the world. Only I remember her. I asked Raoul and Kay-Sahin, but they just replied that they haven't seen her either. I contacted Claris, but it was the same response. But don't you think Claris would be worried? Claris is like, no, I haven't seen her. And she left her phone here and she's missing. Like, don't you think someone other than Gil would be concerned? I mean, I get Raoul and Kesa and, like, Ryuki. They're like, no, I haven't seen her. But, like, Claris should be worried. I'm her roommate. I'm gone for a couple of days. She was, like, all sad and alone when I went to live in the Parasite house, and she knew where I was. And now she's like, you're missing, and your phone is here, and there's no way to get in touch with you, and she's not worried? What's the deal? Please come back to me, Spacey. I opened my hand and revealed the necklace I was gripping so tightly. It was her trademark necklace shaped into a strange arrow. I held it tightly to make sure I don't drop it. Interesting, he's got the... I thought she'd come back for her necklace. There was no sign she ever returned to her apartment. Please, I just want to have 5 minutes of your time, Spacey. My vision blurred in that moment. I hadn't rested for days due to my ongoing search. But I can't stop. I have to keep going. My hunger and exhaustion are nothing compared to my desire to see her again. This is sad. Now I feel bad that we didn't have faith in Gil. Damn it! The guilt! You know, bravo, though, because, like, the game made me so mad, and I was like, no! And now I'm like, this would have hurt you. But like, oh, no, I feel so bad for him. And now you're like, I feel so bad for him, and I feel guilty. It hurts more. Without you, there's no point to all of this. If I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have worked so hard at my job. I love working in Outroad, but I think I love being with her even more. In the end, it all comes back to my thoughts about her. As pitiful and unusual as it is, she really is the center of my world. It's through her that I was starting to change. Yet in the end, I'm just the lovelorn parasite. I'm useless without her. I just want to make you happy. Without you, I have no reason to keep going on. And that's why I have to find her. I want to see her again, embrace her, talk to her, and tell her that I love her. I have to find her. I have to find her. No matter what, I have to find her. But I can't. My mind feels as slow as syrup. I suddenly felt weak in the knees and sat down. I barely kept from collapsing by propping myself up against a store window. I can't stop here. If I stop now, I feel like I'll never see her again. And if that's the case, then that's it for me. Spacey... We killed Gil! I know he's not really dead, but like... I can't go on, though. I can barely move. My vision goes dark. Did you fall outside the pillow store that Alan works at? Because I feel like that would be a great place to stop. I'm assuming this is Claris, because isn't she bright pink? My word, I was wondering where you'd run off to. Oh, you're not going to find her running around here. This voice. I know this voice, but I can't force my eyes open. In fact, I heard this voice right before I passed out. I mean, bright pink is Claris, so... It's so warm. I was dozing and felt something relaxing around me. It was like the soft feeling of being wrapped in high-quality cotton. Something soft climbs on top of me. Gil? Hey, Gil? It's her. Oh, I finally found you. I don't trust this. I reach out to embrace her. I can feel her soft hair and the smoothness of her skin. I was gonna say, and then Claris was there and now we're having the sexy dreams. She's nude. And we kiss. This is just like the dreams I had in college so many times before. We shouldn't do this. I want you, Gil. Please, don't deny my desires. The sweet, tempting words would be something she would never say, yet I still feel dizzy as we lay with one another. See, it goes back to my Claire's like, oh, it's just incense. I don't know. Like, oh, Claire's seeing like she's an incubus too. I'm just like, I touch her, then lick her gently. Whoa, game. Do not make me read this stuff. Soon, I press inside her and we share another kiss. Too much! Too graphic! Lewd! It feels so good, but something is off. Why do I feel so sad? I feel tears drip down onto me. They feel like cold water. Whatever I was touching moves away quickly. No, this isn't her. At least, not the real her. This is a dream. Is it, though? Well, I mean, yeah, because I'm just saying Alan, like, does other people's girlfriends in their dreams. So maybe Claris is the same. Oh, well, look, wait, but we are Alan's pillow store, but the color was the bright pink that Claris is. You'd think it would have been purple if it was supposed to be Alan. But what did I say? But this is Alan's pillow store, and I said that's the best place to pass out. Because then Alan would be able to be like, let me go find Spacey. Also, I don't know if Alan would be like, let me make love to you in your dreams. I mean, who knows? That's not the ship I saw coming, but... And the sensation of a tear on my cheek forced my eyes open. It's my own tears blurring my vision. I rubbed my eyes open and moved to get up and find Claris for some strange reason. Ah, see? You awake, Gil. Huh? Claris? Why? Where am I?
Oh, you're finally awake. You're in my store. You collapsed right outside my window, you know.
What did I say? When he said I collapsed outside a window, I was like, Alan's pillow store would be the best place because Alan's an incubus, so he'd be able to find us somehow, right? But I also think Claris might be. She does have purple hair, and maybe purple is like an incubus thing. I don't know. Oh my god, or Claris is Jupiter in disguise. The gold eyes. I'm just saying, look. I would laugh my ass off if Jupiter was like, I was actually Claris and she and Peter the whole time. And you'd be like, what? And he's like, I mean, I just had to keep an eye on you. Did we ever see Claris and she at the same time? I don't think so. Did we ever see Claris and Peter at the same time? Did we ever see she and Peter at this? Did we ever see any of them at the same time? No. So, you don't know. I don't know if we did or not. I would die laughing. That'd be so fucking funny. I just think everybody's Jupiter now. I think he's fucking everybody. He's like, I was actually everyone. This was just a dream, and I was just everybody. What the fuck? Are we in the Matrix? Cool. Anyway. What? Alan? Oh God. Sorry. Did I cause you any trouble?
Nah, we're not open today anyway. So it's fine. But I need to head out for a bit. Claris, could you look after old Gil here?
I can't do his voice right now. Yeah, no prob. And the fact that Alan and Claris know each other. I mean, they might have met before, but Claris was also here in Shelby's route when we showed up, and she was like, oh yeah, and I'm leaving, or what, you know what I mean? Like, we came here, and she was here. Well, wait, didn't she in Shelby's route? Didn't she like, oh yeah, I'm gonna move on, I'm moving away, and we're like, what? We're gonna miss you. She's moving away because she's Jupiter and you don't need her anymore. I'm just... Crazy theories with Spacey! If any of them are fucking true. I mean, Peter and Jupiter are 100%. Like, if it gets to the end and they're not, I'd be shocked. Okay, that's not going to surprise me. But if anything else, if Jupiter's anybody else in here too, I'd be like, wow, that's... I know I joked about it, but... I wasn't really... I mean, there's like a 1% that I'm like, you know, I'm still leading toward it because I think it'd be funny. And I kind of want it to be that way, but I don't think the game would go that route. But, I mean, who knows? Alan opens the door to the shop and leaves. I watch him go, then turn to face Claris. Because she does somehow know Alan, and we didn't question how she knew him. Or did we? And then she gave us some reason, and we're like, but you're here with... It's because they're both... Or they're either she's also an incubus or she's Jupiter, and that's Alan. No, you know what I'm saying. So, and Claris, you're friends with Alan. I never saw you talk to each other at Cupid Core. It's something like that. Old friends, but not really, you know. So again, because she's Jupiter, and that's how they know each other, or they're both incubi. Alan, the thieving parasite, and Claris, who's always got someone different, and it makes sense that they're friends. Right? She's got someone different because she's an incubus. I'm just saying. Wait, I'm getting off topic. She's gone. And Claris, have you seen her? Oh, I know. I saw the message, so you're not telling me anything new. Why are you so calm about this? Do you know where she is? Well, something like that. Claris, please tell me. I need to see her. Even if she's out of the country, I'll find a way to get to her.
it's high above the sky.
Okay, yeah, see, she knows. This is like, she's either an incubus or she's fucking Jupiter, because I'm just saying, when he was like, I need to investigate this, and he does have a little purple in his hair, doesn't he? And he's got the gold eye. I'm just saying. Would fucking die laughing if Jupiter would just has like fucking toes in every single person in here, and you're like, wow. I mean, they say Jupiter like gets around. I didn't think this is what they meant, but it'd be. Oh my god, please, God, that'd be so fucking funny.
Anywhere, I'll go anywhere. He thought Claris was using a metaphor, so I just went along with it. If I can see her one more time, then I'll go anywhere in the world. If she's at the bottom of the ocean, I'll build a sub. If she's in the depths of space, I'll make a rocket. I'll go anywhere.
Uh-huh. So you really are the lovelorn parasite after all.
I didn't mean that metaphorically. She's really up there.
Upstairs?
Claris points up toward the sky, above with a huge grin.
Did you know she was the god Cupid? It's like somehow after like the things that has gone on with like Gil being like, and I'm just like, I get these horny dreams when like Claris is around. And like, I was like, there's something fishy about her. So I'm not really shocked that she knew because she's been hiding something. But so I'm going to guess this is one of you guys warned me when I was like doing the thing. And I said it earlier, like one of the side characters. And I was like, maybe it's Claris. We also did like, she was the only one I could think of. But then we did realize that Catherine is Venus. They didn't really make that obvious though, but it was kind of, and then I thought maybe that was it because we saw that and we're like, Venus is Catherine. Oh my god. But I'm gonna guess then this is more the reveal, like the finding out more about Claris, which, yeah, I mean, so then you go to Ryuki's route and we're back to like, we know nothing about Claris, and this is slightly more spoilery, but it's not a big deal. There was nothing we could really do, so. It's kind of fun though. Excuse me?
Cupid? Like the matchmaking company, or like an angel?
She's the real deal Cupid, and she's a god or an angel or whatever. Still, she matchmakes for humans.
Well, a part of me doubted Claris's words, another part of me just blindly accepted it as the absolute truth.
And then he's like thinking back, that makes sense why she did know how to take a bath.
She was always so dedicated to matchmaking for others and not herself. She even tried to get Claris and I together. It all makes sense now.
I nodded in understanding. I love the fact that he finds out, and if he finds out, you better tell. Raoul better find out, because like Raoul would just, it would just make his little life, wouldn't it? And we can't take that away from our precious.
I see. So she's Cupid, and no wonder she's always acting like that.
Oh, so you believe me?
You wouldn't lie about something like this, Claris. Plus, she's always been my angel, so it makes sense.
Claris is like, I'm gonna go vomit.
When I first met her, she lacked any common sense. She was always saying humans are amazing at anything new. I've watched over her all this time. I already knew she was no ordinary human girl.
Why is that? What the hell happened? Close eye.
After all, I taught her how to live like your typical human. At the time, I thought she was just a sheltered rich girl, and more so since she never talked about her family. She always looked troubled when I asked about her parents or about her middle school life. Then...
Say, Gil, do you believe in God?
And that day her smile looked so sad to me. I understand now. It was because she was the god Cupid.
Yep, you really get it, huh?
Raoul often talks about gods and mythology, so I've kind of just accepted the existence of gods. Still, there's one more doubt. But if she's not here, that means she went back to her world. How can I follow her there?
Hey, one thing at a time. I'll show you how. But first, give me your hand.
My hand? I opened my hand in curious confusion. Suddenly, the necklace wrapped around my hand pointed upward. The arrow on the chain pointed directly to the sky. Claris pointed in the same direction.
That's Cupid's arrow. It's a tool of her trade.
What? This is her tool?
Well, she's grabbed your tool, so it's fine if you grab mine, right?
Yep, and it's trying to return to its owner. That's the golden arrow. It's capable of making people fall in love. Did you happen to see another bow and arrow around here? No, I didn't. There was just this one there. Her clothes were missing too. So I see. Claris cups her chin in her hand and thinks for a moment. Then she shakes her head and winks at me. Anywho, the arrow's pointing to where she is, which is Celestia. However, it's not a place you can reach by plane. Even I don't know how to get there. Okay, so she's not Zeus. She's not Zeus/Jupiter. She's not Jupiter then, which is unfortunate. But I still think she's an incubus, which was the original guess. I just really wanted her to be Jupiter. I just really wanted him to be everywhere. And then you're like, dude, what the fuck? You're a little clingy. That'd be so funny. You still haven't convinced me he's not Chi though, or Chi is at least a spy for him at any rate. Anyway. Even I don't know how to get there. But when there's a Gil, there's a way, huh? After all, you're the lovelorn Parasite. If you want to get her back, then you need to become her hero, Gil Lovecraft. I understand all that, but how do you know all this, Claris? I turned to talk to her, but like smoke in the wind, Claris was gone. Incubus powers. She vanished. I look around everywhere, but there's no sign of Claris in the store. Is Claris not human either? Or was this just all in my head? But what we talked about is real. The charm on the necklace pointing toward the sky would be impossible otherwise. I look at my hand and see that the arrow tip is still unnaturally pointing up toward the sky above. There's too many things I didn't know, but no matter what, I know that this is her necklace. Claris said the arrow's trying to return to its owner. That's her. And none of this feels real. It's like I'm living in a fairy tale. But considering the simple fact that she's gone, I can't keep calm. Wait for me, Spacey. I'll go wherever this arrow was trying to return to. How cute. Claris said you can't use a plane to get there. And that means I need to do something so this arrow and I can become one. Up until now, I've been trying to achieve this dream of mine. Now it's time to make it come true. I grip the arrow and dash out of Alan's shop. I'm heading toward Baltimore's coast. There's a private beach owned by the Lovecraft family there. It's home to my secret workshop. Why don't you just swallow it? I mean, it might rip out of you and you might die, but like, it's a chance. He's gone. I'm sure Gil can save her and find his way to Celestia. But I should still help out however I can, and maybe earn my own way back to Celestia. Or were you the god of Alan if you're just an incubus? Did they kick you out because they're like, oh, whore? You got kicked out for something. A few days had passed since I returned to Celestia. I'm exhausted. I was busy separating incompatible couples who constantly fought. I look at the list and check the names off one by one, but there's no end in sight. There's this many mismatched couples? I thought I was about halfway done, but Dad just keeps bringing me additional names. That's the level of fighting happening in the human realm. This is all because I abandoned my duties as Cupid in order to try matchmaking like a human. That's not true. I don't want to think that everything I did in the human realm was completely wasteful. I peer into the matchmaking spring and aim my arrow once again. I look for the couples that I connected at Cupid Core. There's some who have split up, but there's also so many happy couples who have built an even happier family. Some are smiling so cheerfully. That's proof that humans can matchmake and bring happiness too. Besides, some of these people that are fighting and are incompatible are ones that you set up as Cupid. I'm just saying. But I can't look at them any longer, not while feeling this way. So I turn away from the spring. It pains me to see so many happy couples. Yeah, ain't that the life? It makes me long to be like them. Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes not. Gil. When I whisper his name, I feel a sharp pain in my chest. Gil, why did you, of all people, receive that article? Stop being silly. I said I wouldn't care about him. I said I'd forget all about Gil. The logic side of your brain. We need to forget him. The heart side of your brain. But I can't. I'm never gonna love again. Man,
This is why love sucks sometimes. Because when it leaves you, you feel like shit. And then you just die alone, and then it's better. Like, I shake my head and chide myself. With new resolve, I aim my lead and arrow once more. That's why I like the romancy games, because there's usually a happy ending. Except for that one time. 7 Scarlet, you son of a bitch! Most of the time, they're happy endings. Also, kind of Cafe Enchanté. That wasn't really a happy ending. It was like, this isn't a happy ending? This is the good ending? Really? I just don't feel good about this. Yeah, you know? And it leaves a bitter taste in your mouth, and you're like, no, I don't like this. I am the god Cupid. I'm not a human. Thus, I cannot be together with another human. Baltimore, at the Lovecraft family's private beach.
All right, it fit. I just need to connect to this circuit next. I locked myself in my lab the day I arrived in order to create the perfect car, which I'd started as a kid.
A car that's going to fly you to another realm. Okay.
And this car is a special flying contraption. Thanks to my time at Outroad, as well as my experiences in university, I've accumulated a lot of knowledge.
Like how to make a car that flies to the god realm? Because I don't think school can teach you that.
And that's why finally I should be able to make this all come together. My ultimate car can fly and transform. It might even be the perfect car to go to where the arrow is pointing to. But I don't have enough parts on hand. Everything here was from when I was a kid. Of course, the parts left here aren't good enough. I can obtain some parts at the local car factories, but all of them know my face and name. If I go, they'll all think I'm back in the family business. Heck, they might even tell my folks. I can't see Dad yet. I still don't think we can speak to each other as equals. But desperate times call for desperate measures. Alan, it's obvious that I can't make my ultimate car with the parts I have on hand. I can apologize and patch things over after I'm done. I wipe off the oil smeared on my face and head to the car factory. Just you wait, Spacey. I'll find you somehow. Oh, some way, somehow.
Just imagine that all of a sudden it's like 30 years later. Gil's a little gray, he's got a scruffy beard. He's just been wasting away in the lab building this car.
After 6 years of loving you, we were finally together. There's no way I can give up so easily. Compared to my love for her, my family problems are nothing. I made up my mind and determined, headed to the car factory I so often went to as a kid. And then I proceeded to run all around Baltimore. I begged some favors and made some promises and almost went to a party. In the end, I got all the parts I needed.
I begged favors, I steal, I almost went to a party. It's kind of funny.
All right, all that's left is to follow the blueprint.
Oh.
I promised to pay everyone back if I'm successful, and that was only allowed because I'm a Lovecraft. Pretty low of me taking advantage of my family name when it's convenient. Maybe I should go and see my parents to talk things over after all. She did tell me that they might understand me better if we just talk. But right now, getting to her takes priority.
I mean, that's gotta be kind of awesome, like, if you think about it. She pieced back off to Celestia and was like, whatever, go. And then he just magically shows up and he's like, I don't even care if I'm in the wrong realm, I came here to find you. And you're like, actually, you know, I'm gonna give you bonus points for that, Gil, because, like, you didn't just chase me to my family's house in a different state or another country. You found me in another realm of existence. Like, shit. That's dedication. I mean, and I think it's something that only Gil could do. I mean, maybe Alan, because, you know, he's an incubus or whatever, but I don't think that any of the other ones would be feasible if they were like, all right, I'm just going to magically get to this other... It's like, it fits really well with Gil's character. Like, he's so, like, lovelorn for you and has been pining for you for 6 years, so he will literally break the boundaries of time and space and go to another realm to find you. Yeah, no, it absolutely fits in his character, and I kind of like that they did this. Wow, all right.
I follow the blueprints, all the while looking at her necklace. I really hope this is enough to reach her. At least this arrow can solve my energy problems. It appears that the Cupid's arrow stores an astronomically huge amount of energy. I ran some tests and was surprised by what I found. It solved loads of energy problems. And not having a well-balanced power source was the biggest reason why I gave up on my dream car.
Your dream car that turns into a flying machine. He basically built a transformer. Like, I built Optimus Prime, what?
In my plans, the fuel tank was too big and heavy to make a car that could fly. In turn, making it light enough to fly would be meaningless if there wasn't enough fuel to get her high above. The flyability and energy issues were one and the same. And the fact that the Cupid's arrow solved this problem shows how powerful it is.
He's basically making like a plane, but like a small car plane. Like, you're basically making a plane. Like,
the arrow is energy, not natural to our realm. It's an out-of-place, unusual artifact, so to speak. But once inserted into the energy source's tank, the car should have infinite flight distance. Theoretically. To think that she, of all people, wore this arrow. She really is the bona fide god of love, Cupid. I didn't fully believe Claris's words completely, but I was fully convinced that my love isn't human. But that doesn't matter anymore. I fell in love with her for herself, and that means loving her true identity. I so desperately want to embrace her, and then I'll apologize and tell her I love her. After that, if I get the chance, I want to say those once-in-a-lifetime words to her. In order to do all that, I have to complete this car. I clutch the Cupid's arrow tightly in my hand as I continue working, but...
dun dun dun. I'm gonna leave it there because we're over time. And that was kind of like a transition, and then this could be a long scene because Alan's gonna show up at some point. I kind of half expected him to show up and be like, "I'll run around and do your errands for you." You know what I mean? So that he could be the passenger shotgun. So, but anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.